More Fool Me, written and read by me, Stephen Fry. Dedicated to Jo, my personal assister, and subject of simply the best decision I ever made in my entire life. In grateful thanks, and with profuse apologies, for all the extra work that this will bring. The fool doth think he is wise, yet it is the wise man that knows himself to be the fool. As You Like It, Act 5, Scene 1. The past won't sit still for a moment. Jonathan Meades, 2014. There is nothing very appealing about show business memoirs. A linear chronology of successes, failures, and blind ventures into new fields is dull enough. And then there is the problem of how to approach descriptions of collaborators and contemporaries. She was adorable to work with, incredibly funny, and always intensely cheerful and considerate. To know her was to worship her. I was captivated by his talent, how marvellously he shone in everything he did. There was a luminosity, a kind of transcendence. She always had time for her fans, no matter how persistent they were. What a perfect marriage they had, and what ideal parents they were. A golden couple. I could there be describing actors, TV show presenters, or producers with total accuracy, leaving out only their serial polygamies, chronic domestic abuse, violent orgiastic fetishes, and breathtaking assaults on the bottle, the powders, and the pills. Is it right for me to be searingly, bruisingly honest about the lives of others? I'm quite prepared to be searingly, bruisingly honest about my own, but I just don't have it in me to reveal to the world that, for example, producer Ariadne Bristow is an aggressively vile, treacherous bitch who regularly fires innocent assistants just for looking at her the wrong way, or that Mike G. Wilbraham has to give a blowjob to the boom operator while finger-banging the assistant cameraman before he is prepared so much as to think about preparing for a scene. All these things are true, of course, but fortunately Ariadne Bristow doesn't exist, and neither does Mike G. Wilbraham. Or do they? The actor Rupert Everett, in his autobiographical writings, manages to be caustic in what you might call a two-species manner, bitchy and catty. The results are hilarious, but I am far too afraid of how people view me to be able to write like that. Very happy to recommend both his volumes of autobiography memoir to you, however, Red Carpets and Other Banana Skins, and The Vanished Years, ideal holiday or Christmas reading. So I now must consider how to present to you this third edition of my life. It must be confessed that this book is an act as vain and narcissistic as can be imagined. The third volume of my life story? There are plenty of wholly serviceable single-volume lives of Napoleon, Socrates, Jesus Christ, Churchill, and even Katie Price. So by what panty-dribbling right do I present a weary public with yet another stream of anecdote, autobiography, and confessional? The first I wrote was a memoir of childhood. The second, a chronicle of university and the lucky concatenation of circumstances that led to my being able to pursue a career in performing, writing, and broadcasting. Between the end of that second book and this very minute, the minute that I am now using to read this sentence, lies over a quarter of a century of my milling about on television, in films, on radio, writing here and there, getting myself into trouble one way or another, becoming a representative of madness, Twitter, homosexuality, atheism, annoying ubiquity, and whatever other kinds of activity you might choose to associate me with. I am making the assumption that in listening to this, you know more or less who I am. I am keenly aware, how could I not be, that if one is in the public eye, then people will have some sort of view. There are those who thoroughly loathe me. Even though I don't read newspapers or receive violent abuse in the street, I know well enough that there are many members of the British public, and I dare say the publics of other countries.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?